You probably remember the film Saving Private Ryan. For many viewers, it is considered a benchmark of war cinema. Realism, tension, and attention to detail. But even in films like this, there are moments that look impressive on screen yet have nothing in common with reality. In the final part of the movie, there is a scene where American soldiers, in desperation, strike a mine against a metal plate and then throw it at the enemy like a grenade. The scene looks realistic and highly dramatic. However, from the standpoint of real weapons, this is a glaring cinematic mistake by the director. What exactly is the error here? That is what we will be talking about today. But first, let's briefly recall the film itself. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The film Saving Private Ryan was released in 1998. It was directed by Steven Spielberg. The plot is based on a fictional story inspired by real events of World War II. At the center of the narrative is a squad of American soldiers sent behind enemy lines to find and evacuate Private Ryan, whose brothers were killed at the front shortly before. The movie received 5 Academy Awards and is still considered one of the most realistic war dramas ever made. The Normandy landing scene, in particular, is often praised and was described by many veterans as terrifyingly authentic. That is precisely why viewers rarely question what they see later in the film. And they probably should. Now let's return to that very scene in the final act. To understand the mistake, we first need to figure out what exactly the soldiers are throwing. What kind of mines could soldiers have used? Most likely, the film shows small-caliber mortar rounds. During World War II, the U.S. Army actively used the 60mm M2 mortar. It was a light infantry support weapon designed to engage enemy manpower and fortifications. A 60mm mortar round weighed about 1.5 kilograms and had a stabilizing fin assembly with a tail propellant charge. These rounds were never intended to be thrown by hand. They were used exclusively with a mortar and operated on a completely different principle than hand grenades. Now, the most important part, the first mistake. In the film, the soldiers strike the mine against a metal plate, then hold it in their hands and throw it. In reality, this is impossible. At the moment of impact, the propellant charge in the base of the mortar round should ignite. This charge is what launches the round out of the mortar tube. If a soldier actually activated the charge in this way, he would suffer a severe thermal burn to his hand. The temperature is extremely high. Holding such a round in an open palm at that moment is physically impossible. Briefly about how a mortar works. The round is dropped into the tube, strikes the fixed firing pin with its primer, the charge ignites, and the propellant gases launch the round upward. It is a fast and violent process, never intended for manual use. The second mistake. A mortar round does not explode when the soldier wants it to, but upon impact with the target. The fuse is located in the nose of the round and is triggered when it hits the ground, equipment, or an obstacle. In the film, however, the round behaves like a standard grenade with a time delay, which has nothing to do with reality. Such behavior is pure fiction invented by the screenwriters. In other words, what is shown in the movie is visually spectacular, but it completely contradicts the actual design and functioning of mortar ammunition. Despite all this, Saving Private Ryan remains an excellent film. But even iconic cinema is not immune to mistakes. Sometimes, for the sake of drama, logic, and real technical details are sacrificed. Now it's your turn. What military blunders did you notice in this film? Write about them in the comments. Let's discuss them. And if you're interested in military history and realism in cinema, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss new releases.